Hey everybody, Joe here. This is live and it's spontaneous. I didn't tell anybody that I was going to go live this morning, so thanks for being here. Those of you that are watching right now, I'm really excited that you were able to join on a moment's notice. But this is why I decided spontaneously to go live, because this painting that I finished yesterday is uh, incomplete, and I didn't see this until I got an email. So Susan sent me an email with some nice pictures of streams, and I noticed that in all of them you could see a lot of sky reflection, and I don't have very much sky reflection represented on this, and to me this really is kind of messing with the look of the painting. Once I saw it, I couldn't stand it. I was like, man, I have to go back for the sake of the people that are going to follow all these videos and try to get better understanding of how to paint, shallow water like this. I feel like this is a really important element. And tomorrow morning, I've got a scheduled live event, and I'm thinking that I want to start painting a dragon in that one. I'm eager to start that. And so I got to finish this. I got to get this done. So that's why I'm going live right now. And so, again, thanks for being here and joining me for it. It's not going to be not going to be a long stream. I'm going to cut over here. All I'm going to do is put the reflection on there and then be done with it. Okay, so now let's just see who's here, because I don't actually know how many of you were able to join. Okay, we've got Gee Whiz. Hey, you're back. All right, I'm glad you saw it. So did you just see a notification that I was about to go live? I'm so curious how it works. I'm not very literate on the way the live streaming infrastructure is on YouTube. Beautiful job. Thanks a lot, Karen. Thanks a lot for saying that. That's going to be great. Yeah. Well, there was enough comments yesterday on the live stream saying, let's do a dragon. I was like, oh, I'm curious how that'll go. I'm curious how that'll go with the live stream. Or just any video. I'm curious how the popularity will be. Because I think it's a select audience that likes it, including myself. I am that select audience that loves to paint really fantastical imaginary things. It's all I did when I was a kid, was just draw pictures, look at pictures, try to create fantasy scenes and creatures. Dragon and dinosaur? Well, maybe we'll just try to make them one and the same. Maybe we'll just try to call the dragon a dinosaur. Greetings from Honduras. Cool. Thanks for being here, Emilio. That's great, Joe. Hope you are making it even more pretty. Yeah. Well, I feel like it'll be a good finish. There was a really valuable comment on yesterday's video from Green Atom, was the username, saying, there was some debate about not debate. There was conversation about what is the focal point of this picture. And so Green Atom said it's definitely the rock in the middle because the lines lead there. So let me show you this point. You were talking about making it more beautiful, and so I was thinking, well, a lot of people associate how nice a painting looks with how well you have like the story told with the focal point. And I was thinking, I'm going to run with this idea that Green Atom had. And so if I switch over here to this view, he says it's definitely the rock because the lines lead you there, and then your eyes kind of revolve around and come back to it. I was like, I feel when I'm looking at the painting like that is in fact what's happening. Like I'm coming over to the edges looking at it, but coming back. Maybe. I just thought, hey, it's pretty convincing. Oh, here's my 5-year-old. So including my family, nobody knows I went live this morning, so we're about to meet my 5-year-old here. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you want to say hi? You want to say hi to everybody on YouTube? Oh, here's Dayton. Say hi.
Hi.
Right there, look.
Hi.
you have a good night's sleep? Yeah.
But I was sleeping on that couch for so long time, so I'm all sweaty.
Oh, you are all sweaty. Look at that. Well, it's better than cold. How do you like my painting?
Good.
Yeah. What is it? Can you tell what it is?
No, but my
The most honest feedback.
The top of the right
here. Okay. I'm gonna come take care of you in a minute, okay? I'm gonna finish this video and then I'll be right out. Okay?
But this part of my arm is all the way twisted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll be right out. Now you know it's live. You got a little taste of the early morning in my house. It's not that early. What are we at? What's the time? It's 7:19 here. Okay, I'm gonna start painting. And so here, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get right to the point on this and do the sky reflection. So this is what I neglected to include in all of the fancy schmancy explanations, but I just like to understand the parts. And so in this we have parts. The face, I call it the face of the wave when you're doing ripples. And all of these more colorful areas, not the gray or the blue, the more orange areas represent the part of the wave that's showing me the most of the underwater, because that's where my vision is going through the surface rather than along the surface. And so all of the water has reflection on it. And what I didn't include was, even though you can see through that water the most, a lot of the time, because of the angle, it's reflecting sky, and sky is very bright. And so what we want is a gradient. All the wave faces high in the painting are turning their angle reflecting sky, and all of them down here are just reflecting less and less of the sky. So eventually we're seeing through to either a darker or lighter, whatever color's under the water. So what I'll do is just get pure gray, and up here where I've got all these dark spots, I need to first do the sky reflection, then put my darker spots in it if I want to. And so I'm going to adjust this, and you're going to see, hopefully you're going to see that it looks a lot more reflective. I want that reflective look on the water. So, I forget things all the time. I miss things. And I restudy, I rehearse, but the truth is I'll finish a painting, come back to it and be like, oh man, it'd be so much better if I would have remembered to put that little detail in there. So what I'll do is get lots of water on my brush and just find places in here to do a black and white mix. So we've got black, let's get some white. I just want a gray that is lighter. And so up in here is where I'm going to have my lighter gray color. So let's put plenty of white, and I'll zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. Let's go like this. Isn't this a nice camera? My friend just let me use this. Let's go over here. I got to get the focus going on here. There we go. I want to make sure we've got a good sharp image. So in here, I'm just going to go like this with my white mix. And as much as I love the way these look, I'm just gonna plow right over them with gray. Actually, it's all pretty much the same color. So let's just go like this. I'm gonna do a lighter gray on top of that, because I can always put the darker color in. So this is going to get darker when it dries. An important thing to always remember when working with water-based paint is that it dries darker. So this is going to just about match what's here. And so now I'm going to get a brighter color. So let's add some more white to my mix. Right here, I'm just using the painting here. And we're going to go like this. We're going to do less and less of the sky reflection. So this is kind of interlacing with with the reflection of the trees. And gradually as it goes down, we're going to have reflection of sky right in here. And so let's put some big fat ones so that we can put those bumps in again. Those little rocks, you know, like the water's tumbling over the rocks. And so if you just imagine the curve of, if you imagine the curve of rocks that water might be tumbling over, you know, any curve is going to go reflection of the background as it's sloping this way. As it comes over, it goes reflection of the sky, you know. So we go background, sky, you. And this is where you'd see a reflection of yourself when it turns that way. So on a round surface, you know, just think about which way that light would bounce. If you just sent it like skipping a rock, what's it going to hit? Okay, so now I'm going to put this lighter color in here and set myself up for my darker colors in there. And then real tiny little dots of it, because if the water is not smooth, then it's not going to just suddenly stop and be the reflect. I'm not going to have a mirror image. I'm going to have a broken up image if the water is chopped up like ripples in stream water. So we'll put little tiny waves. I'm trying to be real mindful of the direction, keeping it real horizontal, real straight like that. Okay, so now that I have those, this is when I'm ready to put the darker color in the middle of those. So while it's still wet, I can get a little bit better effect on it. While it's still wet, let's get a little, we can just mix it on the canvas again. Here we didn't spend very much time on any one part of this. So let's just mix our brown, yellow, a little bit of black. And right in here, this is where we put the color of the underwater. And I can have a lot less of it back here, like this, because of the angles. You know, there's fewer angles that are dropping straight down. So the closer I get in my picture, the more likely I am to see through the water like this, 90 degrees right through the surface of the water. That's when I see the underwater. So the more distant, you know, if you just imagine the side view of this whole scene, you're not going to look straight through that water at very many points in the distance. It's going to happen up close. So right here is where I'll put little bits of on the highest rocks. That's where I'll put the underwater color coming through. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little more gray. I've got a lot of that red color in there. Let's get a little more of the black, like that. I'm going to rinse out my brush, and I'm going to get more of my light gray color here. I had black and white, just black and white. It's a great color for reflecting blue on brown. Okay, so now I'm just going over these to make them not quite as vivid. Right here, blend that in, blend that in. This is just one spot where I'm going to do this level of detail. I'm not going to do that all over. I just kind of liked that area with it tumbling over the rocks, and I didn't really want to lose that. I just wanted to do it more like, I don't know, more believable, the way it would appear. Okay, now I'm going to get some darker color, go right there and create a rock. Create a rock right in here. Let's get a little more of the black. There we go. Now I've got a few rocks back there with the water tumbling over, and I'll try to just make sure there's not too many angles going up and down. I want everything to be real horizontal. Okay, so then I'm going to get my gray again, and I'm just going to go crazy across this paint. Just put gray all over it. So let me zoom out a little bit. And go like this. Let's go about here. I'll kind of move the camera around so you can still see what I'm doing. I don't want to get too far away. There we go. And we'll kind of scoot this way a little bit. I've got this, I've got this on a computer chair. I've got this just swiveling on a computer chair so that I can easily rotate it. So right in here we've got white or gray. Again, we've got the reflection of this rock. So this is going to be real fun this is going to bring this reflection right to life. And I'm going to go a little bit darker grayer as I come down into this picture. So let's maybe go like this. Go right to this edge. There, isn't that fun? How it just boom, creates that reflection of that rock going down. We'll go like this, and then I'm going to put some water in my brush. And the water, I'm just going to do like if you go back and look at the one of my older videos, the waves wet on dry technique. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to start putting water in here and getting a lighter and lighter touch as I go in here and put little dots of this, or little stripes of that reflection across anywhere I want to see reflection. Just going across this picture, using my wet on dry. It's real transparent. It's water, a good amount of water mixed in with the paint, and I just want it to be less and less as it goes down here. Let's go across here. These dark areas I think are good spots to the darker shadows in between rocks. Maybe good spots to put the reflection, because if you think about the shadow on between rocks, that's likely a dip in the water. The water might go down and up again. Well, that's where there's going to also be reflection. So if I find these darker shadows and put some of that right across those darker areas, then I'll get a good effect, I think. Okay, get some more gray and bring it right up in here like this. And is this still wet? Is this still wet right here? Let's get some of this. Let's get some of this color in here. There we go. Let's put some of that in here. I could just keep going back and forth with this. You can see how keep you busy for hours. Keep you busy for a long time doing this. I'm going to try to just get it to a point where I can just say, okay, it looks pretty good. Looks done. All right, we're just putting more of these little dark, same thing as in here, same idea. Just putting that darker color right in within the boundaries of anywhere that I put that light sky color. That's just the ripples of the water showing through, but I want to be careful not to make them too colorful as they're way back here in the background. All right, let's just go like this. Get some color in here. I got to get rid of people have mentioned before, what do you do with the buildup of paint that happens in the spots where you mix? Doesn't it leave like an unattractive buildup of texture? The answer is yes, it does. So I have to get off of it before that happens. So I'm just going to put some more little rocks in here. I've got little highlights like this, and then after this gets a little more dry, we're just going to put some reflection across it. Let's get a little bit of shadow in there between the rocks. If this is kind of a rocky stream bed, I'll put some little bits of black in here, and I'll just keep going across the top edge of any of those little black strokes like this. I think there's going to be some people mad at me for spontaneously doing this live stream, but I'm not going to be doing it for long. Okay. Now I'm going to do more of that same effect. I've got a couple more brushes. This is an old one. Once it starts to flare out on me, this does happen. It fans out like that. And then it's useless to me. Maybe good for doing trees. I think I'm going to just go ahead and mix. That was kind of a time killer repairing that spot. So I'm going to start mixing on a separate palette here. So let's get gray. I'll add some water to it. And let's go in here and start putting reflection back on this water. Gray right there. That paint's starting to dry, but it's not quite dry, so I'm being real gentle to try to not just completely destroy all of the texture that I made. But I can tell you, just in the course of this job, trying to do a good job of explaining it, I feel like I've gotten better at painting stream water just because of the task of trying to really figure it out. Sorry, Zayden, you gotta wait. I'll be done in just a little bit. Just be patient. I'll be out. I'm gonna be done with this painting in just like 5 minutes. I'm neglecting my duties as a parent right now. I'm on morning duty in our house, so I have to do that. Okay, I'm putting this in here. I'm going to come over here. Brighter color. We're going to see this edge right here. I want to see the edge between this and the sky reflecting on the water. So I'm going to go down here and put little bits of that sky reflecting in here. And it needs to be wherever these guys are. See, these are where it needs to be. You can see that color. You'd see that color, but you would see that sky reflection also in that same area, and the color would just be in the middle. Okay. All right. Just give me a quick second. I'm going to let you stare at the painting for a minute while I run to take care of my 5-year-old for just a minute. Hang on. Let's turn this off for a second. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. Just a little bit more of this in here, and it's going to be ready to go. A little bit more of that, a little bit more there. That one's a little bit too dark. I'm going to smear across that. There's a nice thing about the water base is just minutes after, minutes after you put it on, you can just layer over it. So I want these faces of the waves. I like these colorful spots, but they're missing the sky. And the sky needs to kind of be around the outside of it, so I can just smear it like that. Get a big wave coming out on the water there. Just go like that, go like this. Put more of these. So now you can see the developing of the sky, a very important part of most reflections, most stream scenes is getting this sky. So I start to really close in these stripes as I'm in here, get them closer and closer together until I've got a separation between this reflection and the sky reflection. But then as I get further down in the picture, it gets further apart and lighter, and then the sky changes into my underwater color, where I'm looking straight down at it here. That's the pattern. And so down here I just add some water to my brush and just do real light stripes of that reflection. We don't see much down here. It gets brighter and brighter, more and more reflective as I go back, but then at some point it starts to get chopped apart and turns into the objects that are on the horizon. Okay, I got to stop there. I got a 5-year-old waiting to get his breakfast and do the morning routine, so we'll just look real quick at the live chat. We got to do that. You know, why turn on the computer if I can't be a part of the conversation here? Yep, you're right. Teaching is a great way to learn. There's pressure, you know. There's pressure with teaching. You don't want to do things wrong. The thought of misguiding somebody that's looking for good instruction is a terrible thought. My bad. I just had to make sure I turned the microphone back on. I like your paint. Thank you, Jellica. I think it's Jellica or Jellica. You inspire me. All right, thanks, Joy. I'm glad to hear that. That's what I hope for. Thanks for the short stream. You're welcome, Shannon. My pleasure. I just had to get this out. I was like, well, I could pre-record and upload, or I could just go live right now and just get it done. I'm going to do one last thing. Wait, I just remembered one last thing. Since I liked so much Green Adam's comment about the focal point being the rock in here, I'm getting distracted right here by some comments. All right, thanks, guys. You're too nice. Okay. Anyway, back to this. I liked that comment so much that I want to go over here and run with this idea. And so I'm going to show you. Green Adam's point was that your eyes come back. Your eyes come back to this rock because of the lines that are created. And I'm really big on lines, you know, and I feel like they're just super powerful things when you create lines. So look how this kind of points. This shoreline points to that rock right there, and so it does kind of make like a big arrow swooping out. Perspective tends to do that, but I was thinking, and this is just my thought process. I'm not trying to say this is how it is. It's just what made sense to me. And so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to bring this shoreline out like this. So let's do black and yellow for this green, and just bring this bank out like this. Like that. I'm just going to bring that right out so that I have a continuation of this. I thought, hey, that's working. I like that line, how it just curves up onto that more distant shore. So I'm just going to run with it. Let's do a little bit of white on top of the yellow, brighten it up like this. Maybe we've got some wild grass or maybe flowers in there, but what I care about is how that shoreline is going to go and point over to here. You know, I like the help that it gives the picture when it swoops back in here. Let's go like this. There we go. Needs a little bit in here too, look. See this? Let's just put little bits of a grassy embankment showing through the fog. Like that. We might need a little white because that's going to get darker. You always got to remember it's going to get darker when it dries. So I'll add some white to my yellow and just put a little stripe right in there. Make a little bit of light showing through the fog back there. Okay, we gotta go, and so I want to thank you guys for joining me for this very short, sweet time. Thanks for being here, Lee, Keith. Great job. Gives a pleasant, cool feeling. All right, cool. I always like a painting that I feel like I could go spend some time in. That's my basis for painting. I want to paint something that I want to spend some time in. Captain Crunch can't wait. Oh man, I hate all the sugary breakfasts that are out there. It's so bad. Afflicted by the one last thing disease. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, it's been it's caused my paintings to get better and better, you know, if you can just tolerate the spontaneous, the pressure to have to jump up, stop what you're doing so you can sleep at night. It does help you get better. Yeah, we're painting tomorrow. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to start painting a dragon. And I'm not going to call this a paint-along, but it is going to be live form where, you know, it's made so that you can, if you want, paint along. No cuts, no skips, no editing. So, you know, I'm just going to show my process for developing a dragon form. Just do something crazy. It's new. It's a new thing, so we'll see how it goes. Gracias por enseñar tu trabajo. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. Estrella. You show my husband your ship in stormy water painting, and he outstanding. I see he liked it. All right, cool. Thanks, Rebecca. Cool. All right, I got to get out of here. Got morning chores to attend to. It's a sweet life. I've got a good life here. And so I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.